Well, if you have just joined us, a very good morning to you. This is eNCA. We are, of course, watching the Oscar Pistorius case very closely. You'll see running at the bottom of your screen, the prosecutors are expected to ask for a postponement. These are live visuals coming to us from an international feed. What you're seeing at the moment is the outside of the Pretoria Magistrate Court. As we take a quick swing around, you can see the massive media contingent. At around 10 to 9 minutes ago, our reporter Cathy Mohlahlana telling us that Oscar Pistorius is circling the building at the moment. It's understood he tried to go into the building via a back entrance. He was denied access there, and the latest info I have for you is that he is currently still in a vehicle circling the courtroom at the moment. However, we do know that a number of his family members and supporters are inside the courtroom at this stage. Also there is our reporter Karen Moore.
Indeed, Karen will be tracking the formalities inside the courtroom for us. We know that they're expected to last just a matter of minutes. This court proceeding will be very brief as the sides are looking for an extension of the time so that police can actually continue to investigate this matter. A list of celebrities has been drawn up to be witnesses for the state in this case against the murder accused Oscar Pistorius. What exactly is going to happen in there will be brought to you live here on eNCA. Cathy Mohlahlana standing by, Karen Moore also standing by, giving you live updates. You can also follow us on Twitter if you're not going to be in front of your television screen, and you can get the tweets on the latest developments with regards to this court case. A large media contingent expected, in fact, gathered out there. As you can see, they've been rushing to and fro trying to catch a glimpse of Oscar Pistorius, who has by and large been out of the public eye for the last 3 months or so since his previous court proceedings. We know that save for 2 incidents, one in which he was jogging, it was filmed via cell phone footage in Pretoria. He was jogging in one of the stadia there. We know the other incident is him going out with a few friends of his. Allegations in the media that he was caught behaving badly in that particular incident there. Apart from those incidents, no one has really caught a glimpse of him in the public arena, in the media sphere, as far as we know. So you can imagine the international media and media houses here at home as well looking to catch a glimpse of Oscar Pistorius, wanting to know how he's doing emotionally, physically, whether or not this case has indeed taken its toll. All
right, what you're seeing at the moment is an international feed. I want to reiterate, this is not one of our cameras. It is a feed we are getting. We're getting Cathy Mohlahlana back to us in a moment. I can tell you on Twitter, our reporter, that's Karen Moore, she has just tweeted that Oscar Pistorius has walked through the front door of the Pretoria Magistrates Court. That's why you can suddenly now see a clearing at the front door. It is obviously that media scrum that we saw a moment ago. It was Oscar Pistorius, I believe, that was walking through those front doors. That's according to Karen Moore, who is inside the Pretoria Magistrates Court at the moment.
We're going to speak to eNCA reporter Cathy Mohlahlana now. She's outside the Pretoria Magistrates Court. Cathy, I wonder whether or not you can hear me at the moment. I know quite a lot of shuffling going on around you as the various media personnel try and catch a glimpse of Oscar Pistorius. Can you hear me? What's happening now?
Well, good morning to you, and I can hear you clearly. Yes, we've had the media just kind of scramble to try and get shots of Oscar Pistorius as he makes his way into court. Now, the car he was in, Ayanda, was covered up completely. There was no way of telling who was inside the vehicle. It did drive around this courtroom and around the block here a number of times. They went to the back entrance where it looked like officials wouldn't allow them to come in, and then they went again around the block to the front. They were trying to avoid any entrance which seemed to have media around it, but of course it was just kind of unavoidable, and eventually they had to stop and allow him to come off. And as you heard from Karen Moore, who is inside courtroom C, that in fact he has just arrived in court, and we're expecting that proceedings there will begin shortly.
The fact that the vehicle was well covered in itself speaks volumes, whether or not who is inside the vehicle. Those scenes we are airing for you right now. Cathy, you can't see them, but I want to know from you, we know there was a last-minute application to try and have him actually enter through the back door, as it were, but that obviously was denied at the moment, we think.
Ayanda, what happens in a case like this? It wouldn't necessarily be the National Prosecuting Authority that gives permission about which entrances are used at court. That would be permission that he has to apply for from the head of security, chief security at the court itself, and it's really up to them. Now, as of yesterday, the NPA, when they closed office, they said that he hadn't been granted permission. This morning, we were told that it was actually granted, that he was going to use the back door. When Carl Pistorius came outside court a little bit earlier on, I spoke to him and I asked him which entrance his brother was going to be using, and he said that, you know, he said he may be using the front, but he couldn't commit to that. And so it was just one of the issues. The cameramen have been running back and forth between some of the different entrances. Of course, like you said, it's an important image to get, and this was permission that they did try to get officially.
And at the end of it all, did you manage to catch a glimpse of him, or was he shuffled into the courtroom without anybody managing to see him?
Well, Ayanda, there are several cameras that we have stationed at the different entrances, and I believe one of our cameras has been able to get footage of him as he was making his way inside court.
Well, this is just the beginning. One wonders for how long this will go on for, whether or not he will eventually walk straight in there and not be afraid of the prying eyes of the media. Cathy, very briefly, also tell us about what we can expect today. We understand it's a very short court proceeding underway that's set to begin at 9 o'clock.
Ayanda, what we're expecting is that the NPA is going to ask for this case to be postponed. They want to give the police more time to finish their investigations. At this stage, we know that the police are trying their best to gather up as much evidence as possible, also putting together a list of witnesses that they want to come and stand in their case. Now, they're going ahead with pursuing a charge of premeditated murder under a Schedule 6 offense. And if Oscar is found guilty, Ayanda, this could mean a possible life sentence for him, but they would need to prove beyond reasonable doubt that in fact he did premeditate the murder and the killing of his girlfriend on Valentine's Day. And so they're giving police the opportunity to investigate that. Of course, the police themselves haven't had an easy road. They've come across a few scandals. Their lead investigator was removed of the case after it was found that he could have potentially contaminated the scene. And last week we had those images which were leaked to international media of the crime scene. Now, that is not necessarily expected to interfere or impact the case in any way, but of course the police must be seen to be doing the best work that they can, and not to be found, you know, actually seeming like they're just getting things, small things, they're getting small things wrong on the ground. And so, but the NPA doesn't feel that the work of police on the ground will jeopardize their case, and they believe that they'll have enough to actually secure a conviction. Of course, Oscar's defense are fighting to have it reduced down to a Schedule 5, and that would be a significant difference in the kind of sentence that would be imposed on Oscar if he was found guilty. Of course, the state already has something to work with because he has already admitted to killing his girlfriend. The issue of contention now is whether or not he premeditated it, and whether or not he did actually believe that she was an intruder in his house.
Of course, a major case for the NPA as well, who have of late been seen to have bungled a few of the major high-profile cases as far as some people are concerned. So this is a major case for them as well to try and prove a point. That was eNCA reporter Cathy Mohlahlana.
News that moves. eNCA.com.